Hey, it's John McCallum. Welcome to another edition of Bass Champs Dock Talk. I've got a special guest today from Skeeter Boats. This guy's schedule is so crazy. They had so many new launches coming this year. It's really nice to have him on the channel. Chris Brown, he's been in the fishing industry for well over 20 years. He's worked for Anglers Channel, Rigid Industries, Buckmaster, Strike King. The list goes on and on and on. And he's a real asset to Skeeter Boats. Chris, thank you so much for spending a little time with us today. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, John. I appreciate it very much.
Because I know you're carving me out right now between several meetings you've got going on.
I loved your email yesterday going, hey, how about this time? And I'm like, look, I got from here to here or here to here. That's all I got. So what do you want? We can do it. So, yeah.
And a busy man you've been. I mean, of course, we're all interested in the bass boats here, but you introduced quite a few new products for 2025.
We had the ZXR SE that came out in December right before Christmas. It was a great stocking stuffer, which I didn't get, but still it was great for somebody, right? And then just last month, which I said last month, it was like 2 weeks ago, we introduced the new WXR 2260, our big flagship. And I think I put on my Facebook page, she's a big, sexy girl because she is. And it sounds
like
weird.
You can sit like six people in the front of that boat.
It's massive. It's massive. It's bigger than my wakeboard boat. It's amazing. But with the new Yamaha 350 on it, so we debuted that at Minneapolis, and that's gone gangbusters. And here I leave this weekend headed to Miami for the boat show down there. And so I think I've got a 3-week swing in Florida with my Miami boat show, the Elite Series starting. And then, of course, Okeechobee as well on the elites. And I know Jeff Welch and Chad Potts like, why don't you ever come to the Bass Champs tournament? It's like, they're never in town, right? I show up at the championship in October because that's the only weekend I'm free, I think. So, but no, it's good. It's a crazy time of year for us, John, as anything in the boating industry, fishing industry. And it's good. It's a good problem to have to be busy right now. So.
It is, and for those of you guys listening out there, if you've never been to the Miami Boat Show, it's a bucket list item for me. Yes. I mean, it is literally the Walt Disney World of boat shows. I don't know that you can see it all in 3 or 4 days, can you?
No, it takes a lot, and there's multiple locations, multiple venues, and it's impressive. My wife is coming this year. She wants to go where all the big yachts are. I said, sweetie, you and I combined don't have the credit score to even get in the gate for that one, right? I mean, they check your credit and take a deposit before you ever walk in the gate on that deal. So, but yeah, I mean, just a bucket list deal down in Miami. They're on South Beach and, at the convention center and the different marinas there. So if you've never done it, go down. We've got some folks that we know that vacation down there every year this time of year just to go to the boat show. I'll get on a plane in the past there at Love Field or at DFW and guy look at me and see Skeeter on my shirt and go, you going to the boat show?
Yep,
sure am. Like, me too. I'm like, great, you working? Nope, just checking it out. So, but it's interesting because the clientele there is a little bit different, right? You go to the boat show like Fun and Sons open house, you're going to get guys around Texas, maybe Oklahoma, and a few other places that come in. But down there, I mean, you're going to talk to somebody from the Bahamas, somebody from New York, somebody from California. They come from all over for that deal. It's a big international show too. So it's impressive. It really is. And it's kind of like everybody brings in all the stops for that one. And we're one of them. So we're excited to be there. Again.
Yeah. And speaking of boat shows, at the Fun and Sun boat show recently, I really got to have a little fun crawling around this boat right here, the new SE. I mean, that is, I got to tell you, when I got into it, it was kind of a flashback to, the way boats used to be built, because it was just, it's got everything you need, but it's bare bones. It's got the toggle switches. It's got the things that you really, that you're kind of old school fishermen are kind of used to. And you can, in a lot of ways, build the boat the way you want to build it.
Yeah, you really can. And, all of our stuff is packaged, right? So like the ZXR boats, they come with a bunch of different details. This being the SE, you can call it a standard edition, a simple edition, whatever you want to make the S to be. But what it is, I call it solid, because this little deal right here, I mean, I was part of that photo shoot. They actually let me be in the photo shoot, which was really weird for me. I'm always behind the camera. But so for this deal, I'm with you. It took me back to my first bass boat where toggle switches, just one graph at the dash, one graph at the console. Rest, of course, the trolling motor being an Ultrex, that's doing whatever I had, but it's a simple, bare bones deal it's fast, it's fun. The fishability in that boat is incredible. And you don't realize just how simple this thing is until you start catching fish out of it. And you're like, dang, this is a lot of fun. And then you get out there. We were on Lake of the Pines shooting that and running the boat lanes and through the different things up there. And so, just like any Skeeter, I get asked this a lot too, from our ZX line all the way up to our FXR line. It's like, what somebody made a comment about this one. It's like, well, I wonder what they skimped on. We didn't skimp on anything, right? This boat is built in the same line, in the same production manner as our FXR Apex, our FXR Pros, our WXRs, our saltwater boats. It comes down to the same line. The same guys touch this boat. It's all drip, no skimp is what I call it, because it's full of stuff. Granted, it doesn't have some of the little creature comforts that we've grown used to having in other boats, but this is a great, great intro-level boat, 5 colors. Can't go wrong. You can pretty much match just about almost any truck you got. And there I was. And
is that you driving right there?
That's the fat guy in the back. That's me. So no, they wouldn't let me drive. Jeb was going to throw him out, but no. So it's just a great, fun little boat. You don't have, you are missing a few bells and whistles you may have been used to, but the fun thing about it is you got there fishing without them, and you realize really quick, I don't have to have this. I don't have to have that. I can catch fish doing whatever, and you still got money in your pocket after buying one to go buy that, that Mega Live 2, or go buy that forward-facing stuff you wanted, or a different graph, or, things like that. So you still got a little money, or you take mom out to eat if you want to. Buy some more tackle, stop by Fun and Sun and buy some more tackle while you're there. So a lot of cool things you can play with this boat, and just a fun little deal. I really enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, we were at the boat show, it was a big hit at the boat show. Everybody was crawling around it. And, a lot of the main topics that were brought up is like, hey, this is the hull that was designed around the Yamaha outboard engine.
Yes.
And of course we're talking many, many years ago now, but it was really the very first hull ever mastered and designed around a specific engine, rather than, trying to marry the two together. This is a true combination package. So you get all the performance that you get out of any Skeeter boat.
You really do.
But it really drew us back to the old days when, we didn't have a lot of money. We were sleeping in the front seat of our truck before we went to fish a bass tournament, because we couldn't afford a hotel room. Yeah. And you saved up, you won a bass tournament, then you could go buy a graph. You won another event, and then you could go do this. And you could really, this boat is, you can start off on a base level in a really affordable price. And then as things grow, and as your passion for the sport grows, the boat grows with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of equate it back to, my son played basketball growing up. All of his life. He's now 20 and in college, but my daughter tried soccer, and she tried volleyball. She tried all the different things. Right. So I've got all the balls, all the cleats, all the shoes, all the deals. But I'm looking at this boat too for like our high school anglers, right, John? You got kids that are big into fishing in high school. Dad may not know what all he needs, what all he's looking for, right? And the prices can be overwhelming. This boat gets you everything you need. It's a great boat for 2 people up on the bow. We're split up, one on the back, one on the front. It's safe, it's comfortable. And it's just overall, it's just a great little boat, a great starter boat for somebody. Or, heck, even me, there are guys later on that don't need all the bells and whistles and want something that's going to fit in the garage and have a little fun and still be safe and comfortable out there, easy to maneuver, easy to trailer. The whole 9 yards. It really fits anybody and what they're looking to do. And I've got a buddy in North Carolina that has run some different boats, and he told me, he said, man, I'm looking to get back in a Skeeter, and I'm looking at the SE. He's like, for 40 some odd years I fished and didn't have to have poles, didn't have to have this, didn't have to have that. He said, I can still do that, right? And he said, this is a great deal, and it gets you real money max qualified as well. So you sign up for that, you can still win a bunch of money out of this boat, irregardless. So it's a lot of fun.
And, you know, and speaking of winning money, I mean, one of the great things that you guys are doing this year for Bass Champs is obviously we were just talking about the high school fishing program. I mentor a couple of kids and take them at my local high school. I know a lot of bass anglers are doing it. They're the future of our sport. You see these young kids on the elites just mastering all of the electronics. It's just
Yep.
amazing to watch some of these kids. And you guys really introduced a cool program for high school students fishing Bass Champs, $2,500. I mean, man, hats off to you. That's an incredible program right
Yeah,
there.
highest finishing adult angler team that is signed up to fish a high school, signed up with a high school or fishes a high school trail as well. It doesn't matter if you finish first or 31st or 101st. If you're a high school, if you're a adult high school or adult team fishing Bass Champs out of a Skeeter, I mean, heck, I mean that's easy money for somebody right there that can go towards a lot of things. So, whether it's, another graph or more rods and reels or, put
Heck,
yourself through college.
just paying for lodging,
Paying
fuel, and
for
all
lunch,
of those other,
right?
or I mean, and this is the deal I make with my kids. If we win, we take the money, we throw it into a little account. You get to use it
Mhm.
for college or a trade school or whatever you want to
Yeah.
do, when you're getting out of high school. And man, that can add up really quick.
Yeah, it can. It
Yeah.
can. And so it's a cool program. We've seen it work across the country in a few different places and kind of excited about it. So, it's a neat deal for sure. And you're right. I mean, you look at the age of the guys coming in now to the elites. You look at the opens fields now, they're stacked. You look at
Yeah.
Bass Champs and other team trails across the country. They're all stacked with these young guys that are trying to make their way to the Bass Team Championship or make their way to the elites, the classic somewhere. And those kids aren't getting any older. I mean, they're young, and it's fun to watch. We've got a really new young group of guys. We've got a couple on our staff right now too that are a lot of fun to watch on the Elite Series side. So, yeah, I mean, it's a neat program.
So,
For sure.
and heck, Jeff and I were talking about this in the last podcast we did. Yeah, it almost makes me a little angry that we didn't have this, back
Oh,
when we were in high school.
it ticks me off, bro. I'm not a little. I'm mad about it, but I'm mad about it because
I
if
mean,
you
at our local high school, they get an excused absence on Fridays
right,
to go
yes,
practice. I'm like,
yes. I see that's the fun thing here is when everybody here inside Skeeter's got a tournament because about Wednesday we stop talking to each other, right? Our meetings get really short because nobody wants to talk about who's going where this weekend or who's doing what. But then come Friday, especially those that have high school age kids that are fishing, it's like I have to tell one of my guys, I'm like, dude, just because your son's got an excused absence, don't mean you have one too. I mean, come on, we still got boats to sell, bro. I mean, we got things to do. But yeah, Fridays are pretty desolate around here because everybody's off fishing or practicing or doing something, getting ready for the weekend.
yeah, I
Sure.
can see the suggestion box at Skeeter full of little notes saying Fridays we should always be closed.
Right, right. But we do have some loaner boats on site, and on Thursday afternoons, there's a steady trail of them going out the
Oh,
back, going out the parking lot. It's
well,
like,
so
all right,
cool.
well, I guess everybody's fishing tomorrow. So, but I get a lot of work done when they're going on Fridays for sure. That helps.
And of course, with Skeeter being the title sponsor for Bass Champs, you've got $10,000 for the highest qualified finisher, 5,000 for second qualified finisher.
Mhm.
Then you also throw in $1,000 for Big Bass Friday,
Yeah,
regardless of what boat you're in, which is really cool. But
yeah,
a lot of things that some people don't realize is you guys do money for a lot of different things. You've got the real money program here,
yep,
and you got rewards max, grassroots level, limited level. There, I was just going through the trails on that, and of course, we're real fortunate in North Texas and the
yep,
Texas area. Lot of great bass tournaments to fish, and a
yep.
lot of ways for Skeeter owners fishing out of a qualified Skeeter to make money on those tournaments.
Yeah, there is. And you can fish the max level tournament, sign up for the max, it's $100 a year, and you're all of a sudden in the running to win up to $50,000. In the course of this year, just by going out there and winning out of a Skeeter, a qualified Skeeter, which qualified Skeeter, I get this question a lot, is a 2-year or newer Skeeter, based on when your warranty registration was. So mainly some 23s and 24s obviously qualify. But, and you go out and win one of these that are on that trail list for the max. And I mean, it's 10,000. I've already given away, we've already given away about 35,000 this year, just the month of January, on some wins from across the country. And then, of course, local guy here for us, Nick LeBrun, he was the highest finisher out of a Skeeter in a Toyota Series event. So there was $1,000 for him. And he just had a top 10 on the BPT. So there's another $1,000 for him. So a lot of these guys can make some serious money. And like on the BFL side, we had a gentleman win a few weeks ago. He made more money from us than he did from the tournament. So just to run a qualified Skeeter. So you take a $4,000 payday and turn it into $10,000 really quick on something like that. And it's $100 to sign up. So it's a great deal. A lot of trails across the country. We're adding more trails weekly to this deal as well. And then, of course, we've got the grassroots level, which is a lot of other trails, a lot of local team stuff or one-day events. And that we do a $5,000 match. So if you win, if you win out of a qualified Skeeter and you win $4,500, then we'll pay you $4,500. If you win $5,000, we'll pay you $5,000. So we'll pay you up to $5,000 on a match on that deal, and you can win it, I think, 5 times as well. So there's another $25,000. So sign up for the max, you get signed up for all of them. Doesn't matter what level you fish. We've got some guys that'll fish champs, right, and then go fish some other stuff, and they want to be qualified for both and for all of it. So you pay $100 a year, and it's a great way to get included and get involved. And I mean, it's pretty easy deal. It's worth it. We had a guy last year that won one and didn't sign up. Ooh. And he called and he said, "Hey, I won this tournament." And I said, "But bud, you're not signed up." And it cost him $10,000. It was $7,500 back then, so it cost him $700. But still, that's a pretty costly mistake right there. So he signed up the next day, and but we had a couple of guys win 2 or 3 times last year, and I expect we have a few guys that'll win several times this year. So it's easy to do.
There's a lot of ways to really make more money over and above what's available in just the tournament by really paying attention to all the sponsor incentives, especially all of the ones that you guys do at Skeeter. And not for anybody to get confused, we're actually talking about the real money max here. The requirements are a little bit different for Bass Champs, a little bit bigger because obviously you guys are our sponsors, our title sponsors. But man, if you're fishing out of a Skeeter and you're fishing anything in addition to Bass Champs, you got to be a part of this program. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you do. We already have the Bass Champs deal set up and that set aside, and so it's a killer deal. So my boss, great example of this, John. My boss walks in, he's showing me pictures of big fish while I'm on this podcast with you, John. So here we go. I mean, they just egg it on around here, right? They know I'm busy. They know I ain't got time for this. Just show me big fish pictures, So
I love that. But everybody loves big fish pictures,
Well, they do. They do, except when you're the guy working. Yeah. So you can't go fishing.
So speaking of getting a boat right now, let's see, I've got to do this. Oh, well, it's interesting. When I hit the buy save fish, it pops me into a different window and it's not pulling up on we're having a little technical difficulty here, but we got the buy save fish going on.
Okay. So click on if you scroll down just a little bit.
Yeah.
On the homepage, you'll see current offer. Right. Yep. Go back up.
Go back
up. Right above the boats right there. So right there, you'll see current offers in that black bar. Yeah, click that.
Hey, look at that. A little technical assist. You do know what you're doing, Chris.
Well, sometimes. So
this is big. This is through March 31st right now, correct? Yeah, March 31st.
It is. It's a great way to get in a new boat. You get an instant rebate up to $4,000 and then up to $1,000 Tackle Warehouse gift card. If you do buy the boat through Fun and Son, for example, we will let you spend that money with them in their tackle store if you'd like to as well. Or you can take advantage of the financing that we have going on as well through Yamaha financing. So really good deal. We've seen it. We've had a very good January thanks to this program, and we're looking for February and March to be just as good, if not better. It's on 23, 24, and 25 model boats that are brand new. So, get in, find one you like, and take advantage of this deal. I mean, it's free money sitting out there. and tackle for that matter. So,
Yeah, and all of the information is right there on your website. I mean, it's hard to read here on the podcast, but you just have
yeah.
to go over to skeeterboats.com, and it says, what rebates are available for what boats,
Mhm.
and the whole 9 yards. Now, it doesn't say anything here that I can use the $1,000 at Fun and Sun, but we've got Chris right now.
Well, you've got me telling you can't. We're really
So,
not. We're really not publicizing that right on the web. But
yeah.
so we have work to deal with them. They can use their money there if they choose to do so. There with the guys at Fun and Sun, which is a cool deal. But yeah, you can go online, build a boat, click on the dealer locator, find you a dealer if you're not located around Dallas, and you can go find some place to get you a Skeeter and get real money registered and the whole 9 yards, and you'll be set. Be good to go for 2025.
So you're heading off to Miami for a couple of weeks. Then I know it's boat show crazy right now. How long are you on the road for all of the boat shows before you get
Well,
to
you figure I got about 2.5 weeks on this next trip this weekend, and then come home for a couple of weeks, and everything's it's kind of like Texas. I learned this moving to Texas 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Everything's 20 minutes away or 2 weeks away, one of the two, right? It's a geographical oddity, as they used to say. But so you're like 2.5 weeks on, and you're a week at home, 2.5 weeks on. So I'll go to Miami, and then I go to the two Elite Series events. Then we'll come home and for a week or so, and then go to the Northwest Sports Show back in Minneapolis. I've already been there once this year. You have to go twice a year, otherwise it's not any fun, especially when it's cold up there. And then come back, and then we'll be in Fort Worth in y'all's backyard for the Classic, which we're really excited about. So I have a big booth there, a big presence at the Classic. Be a lot of fun there. We'll have some in-booth activities going on, and some giveaways and things going on. We'll have the SE there. We'll have an Apex Limited, some ZXR boats. So we'll have a bunch of stuff, a few pros to sign autographs, and a few things. So we'll have a big time that weekend there.
I mean, the last time the Classic was held up there, and it was, I think it was, I mean, just, right at the tail end of the pandemic, it was still the most attended Bassmaster Classic ever. And, everybody had such a great time. It's a great opportunity, for current Skeeter owners and people who are looking at new bass boats to go check everything out. And, you guys are there. I mean, to answer any questions, crawl around boats, stick your head into compartments. I mean, you can't miss an opportunity like that. It's a lot of fun.
And you know what? I used to, in a prior life, John, I hosted a couple of podcasts, and I'll do this. I know we're still a little ways away from the Classic, but I'll do this. If you're listening, you come by the booth at the Classic and you tell me you heard me on this podcast, right? So I heard you talking to John McCalmont, and you tell me what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
I could probably find some Skeeter swag for you there.
Ooh.
You're really interested. So
dang. Okay.
I'm a marketing guy. I got to give a few things away every now and again, right? So
you just heard Chris say, if you're at the Classic and you go by Skeeter Boats and you said, hey, I saw you on the Bass Champs Talk podcast talking about the SC and the other bass boats, could be a little free swag in it.
Be a little swag for you. You got to come by the booth at the Classic.
Who does not like Skeeter swag?
Don't text me or email me or call me. I heard you on the podcast. You got to come see me at the booth. So you got to come see me. So,
and of course, the last thing, we got to talk about this, because I think it's the 31st year?
31st year. Yes. 31st year.
31 years of the Skeeter Owners Tournament. I mean,
yes, sir.
The most attended owners tournament in the history of the world. More people, more Skeeter owners fish this tournament than any other bass boat ownership group anywhere. And it's really because it's such a family affair when you come down and do this.
Oh, it is so cool. I've been to a couple as an angler. When I worked for Rigid Industries, we had a boat that we would bring and be part of the show and whatnot. And then this will be my third one now working for Skeeter. And so every year, I mean, it's on our calendar. It's highlighted. If you can see my calendar right now, you'd laugh, because the first 7 months are blacked out basically, and the back half of the year is empty. But it's big. It's on the calendar. We're already starting to plan for it. We should have registration open up here pretty soon for that deal. I know Jeff Welch is getting phone calls, as am I. So we'll have that up. We're going to have 2 different fishing rods this year. We're going to be selling, right? We'll have a bait caster and a spinning rod for all of you forward-facing sonar folks that have been begging for one. So we'll have two different rod types this year. We'll have the Costas again for sale like we normally do. But then we'll have all the vendors, and this is probably one of the coolest family events. I mean, my wife comes out; she loves it, and I mean, it's so much fun, and it's funny because everybody around here just works so hard for it. And they're like, man, you almost really love selling boats. I'm like, I just really love our customers. I really love the people who own our boats. And we have so much fun at these events. I lose a lot of weight during this event because it's stressful and it's hot. Boy, it's Fat Boy gets hot on this deal. So, but it's a lot of fun. We've got the Yamaha side-by-side coming back. We got the four-wheeler. And I will tell you this too, John, really quick. We gave away, I think there was 36 grocery carts full of toys that we gave away back at Christmas for our boatload of toys deal, right? We did a deal in Tyler, Texas. They went all over this part of Texas. And it's because of our owners that brought toys in and filled that boat up. I normally haul that boat home, then take it to work the next day or the next day after the weekend. We couldn't put the cover back on this boat. We had to put all the toys into crates. We have these ginormous crates. We filled 3 crates full of toys.
Wow.
And I'm going to challenge everybody to do that again and more, because we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. Our owners are phenomenal. We love our owners, and we really enjoy giving away product at this deal. Our sponsors love it. The fishermen love it, obviously. And I always tell people, I said, if you're getting ready to buy a new Skeeter boat, you need to come to the owners tournament, because you'll see some of the prettiest Skeeter boats you've ever seen, but you'll also see some of the ugliest Skeeter boats you've ever seen too. Back in the day when you could color them, right? But no, I mean, it's so cool to see. Last year we had a guy we always bring out boat number 8. We've got it here in the foyer. We bring it out usually. Had a gentleman come by last year with a 1970 model that he dropped off for guys to admire. And I've had other folks reach out going, hey, we've got some older boats we've refurbished or fixed up. Think about having like a kind of an antique, boat show out there too for Skeeters. That could be kind of cool. And there's a little birdie's telling me we might even have some Elite Series pros this year show up for registration. So
nice.
It could be a good time and be a lot of fun. So we're excited, ready for June, and already work on the planning for it. And it's going to be a good time as always.
Well, you get the boatload of toys, which, I mean, the generosity of Skeeter Owners is just amazing. Everybody just loves giving to that. You got free food, you got great barbecue. The ducks, we're doing the ducks again.
Always do the ducks, man.
So you give away. I know you guys bring a huge box truck trailer out there full of giveaways. I mean, it's rare for somebody to leave the Skeeter Owners tournament without something in their hand.
Oh,
it's amazing how much is given away. Everybody has such a good time.
If you didn't take something home with you, one, because you weren't looking for a duck, or two, because you weren't paying attention when I was throwing stuff in the crowd, or you just missed Saturday night, which if you did, I'm sorry, you need to be there. But I mean, we bring so much. I mean, the duck deal's gotten so big that we've got our own duck crew that they bought T-shirts. Like they have T-shirts now for the duck crew, right? I mean, and they've been wanting to buy a big inflatable duck for the truck, but we ain't got that budget yet. We got to sell a few more boats before we can do that. But no, it's great. And the service crews are there. And it's so fun to see people that you've seen over the years that come out to this. And of course, hopefully we're praying no storms this year. We don't need any more tents blowing away.
That was crazy. That was so crazy.
It was. And we got a great group. The guys from Shams do such a great job putting that together for us and making all that work. And there's one thing about it: come hell or high water, we're going to have a good time, and we're going to have a fishing tournament one way or another, and we're going to give away some prizes and have a lot of fun doing it. We're all going to eat a lot. And I'm telling you, I'm kind of jonesing for a piece of pie right now, John. I need to get back to the restaurant there and have a piece of pie. I live 40 minutes from there. I haven't had a piece of pie since last year, so it's time to get back and do that. But registration will be up. Keep checking that website or that page there on the SkeeterBoats.com website, the Owners Tournament page. We'll have the registration up here soon, and then we'll be ready to roll, get everything going for June 6th, 7th, and 8th.
June 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Lake Fork.
And it's really a week-long deal. I mean, I was just looking at all of the winners from last year, and they're from all over the country. Of course, Skeeter being a Texas boat and a Texas company, you're going to have, everybody in Texas loves to run a Skeeter. But you got people from Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, I mean, I know in the past we've had people drive down from Canada, drive down. We had, I
Yep.
think, I don't know if the guy still does it or not, but we had a guy from Alaska come down,
Yep.
you know, and
Yep.
fish the tournament. And
I'm trying to remember how many states we had in this one this past year. I know we had. I walked out. We all leave here on Monday. Mostly here on Monday, headed over to Fort, and we make 2 or 3 loads, 2 or 3 runs to get everything over there. And we were getting ready to leave one last year on a Monday, and I looked out, and there's a truck and a boat in the front driveway parked right by the sign. And an older couple out there taking pictures of everything. And I stopped through. I said, "Guys, how are you?" He goes, "Great. Just put him from California, headed to Fork." And I'm like, "You bypassed Fork to get here, but okay, cool. Come on, let's go." So they followed us up and got settled in. So I've got some friends who now live in Austin that came over from London
wow.
that bought a boat and fished. And so they were there last year and really enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work, but boy, we love it, and we really enjoy it. And we do it all for our owners. I mean, that's really what
Well, you
it's
do
all
because I mean, you guys know so many people coming in from out of state. I mean, they plan their family vacations around
about. They
this.
do. They
And so
do.
you make the family vacation. I mean, you make it like it's a mini Skeeter Disney World, you know, with the giveaways and the food and the boats and all of the cool stuff you get to. I mean, it's in a way, it's Skeeter Boats Bassmaster Classic, you know. It
Well,
really is.
we want it to be as fun and eventful for the guys and gals as it possibly can be. We love the women's division, the kids division, right? We do all that, and every year we're looking for ways to make it bigger and better. Looking for better prizes, better gifts, better things that we can give away in our registration bags and everything else. So we're always trying to get bigger and better, and we might have a few surprises up our sleeve for this year. We'll have a little bit of fun regardless. So excited about it.
Well, now everybody that's listening, they truly understand how busy you are right now because launching the SC, you got your new multi-species, you got all the boat shows, you got the
Yep.
Skeeter Owners tournament coming up, you got the Bassmasters Classic coming up, you know, you get a small break somewhere around August, and then
Maybe.
September,
Maybe.
you're right back into it full
Yeah.
steam again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so much. So we really do appreciate you spending a little time with us today and going
Absolutely.
over some of the neat stuff. And of course, if you heard, and I'm going to reiterate this, you heard Chris say that if you go out and you see him at the booth at the classic, talk about the podcast here, might have a little something tucked away in a rod locker for you.
Maybe.
But more importantly, get out there and enjoy that. I mean,
Yeah.
see the boats, crawl around, talk to the pros, talk to the guys representing the different boat manufacturers, spend some time in the Skeeter in the Skeeter booth with Chris and some of the other Skeeter pros. I mean, it is so well worth it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing everybody out there. And yeah, you never know. I'll have something laying around there for you one way or another. So
Well,
I'll
I'll be
find
the
something.
first one that walks up and say, "Hey, Chris, I heard on the podcast."
Yeah, you don't count, John. You don't count. I'm sorry. So
Non-qualified.
no,
Well, Chris, if I
it'll
don't
be
get to
fun.
see
Look
you
forward to seeing
before the
everybody there.
Skeeter Owners tournament, I look forward to seeing you at the Skeeter Owners tournament with everybody else.
Yes,
And
sir.
enjoy that Miami boat show. Send some photos of the big yachts that your wife's putting a down payment on, and
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
waiting for my invite to go on a
yeah,
cruise.
yeah. The convention center is beautiful this time of year, I hear. So it'll be a lot of fun. So, but no, it'll be good. John, thanks for having me on part of the show, and you guys have some great events coming up here this month.
Rock and
So.
roll.